So last week, I ranked every single N64 console variation in color, and this week I'm going one generation forward and doing the same thing with the GameCube. So this is going to be a slightly longer list than the N64 one. Again, I'm getting all these variations off of consolevariations.com, a pretty cool site. And this is of course just an opinionated list. I'm ranking these just based on how good I think the designs or color schemes are. So, to start off at the very bottom, we have the MTV Paul Smith console. This was given away on MTV Radio back in 2003, and it was inspired by a fashion designer named Paul Smith. And despite that, it looks kind of ugly. It's just a bunch of colored eyesore lines, and it just doesn't look good. Next up, we've got the MTV Camouflage console. This was also given away by MTV. And apparently only 9 of these were made, so who knows how expensive this is now. Honestly, I just think camo is kind of an ugly pattern. That might be a hot take, but yeah, sorry. At 22, we have the Hanshin Tigers bundle, which features a GameCube that is just striped with black and white and has this sport team logo on it. And this was released to commemorate, I guess, this Japanese baseball team getting first place in the league at the time, but I honestly think just this striped pattern doesn't really fit the GameCube too well, or just a console in general. Next up, we've got the ATI console, which is literally just a regular GameCube, but it says, "Thank you for your outstanding effort on Flipper," and that's of course because the prototype name for the GameCube was Dolphin, and this was actually given away to employees at ATI who helped make the GameCube. Pretty unfortunate though, because it's not really a unique looking console. Next up, we've got the Donkey Konga bundle. This of course was bundled with Donkey Konga, and the only thing that separates this from a regular GameCube, or it is the Platinum one, but the only thing that separates it is that it has a unique faceplate. And honestly, I think just the regular black faceplate with the GameCube logo looks a lot better than this random color thing, even if it is a nice little graphic of Donkey Kong. Then we have the Pokemon XD one, which is just the same thing but with Shadow Lugia on it. Then we've got the Metroid Prime one, which is the same thing but it's got Samus on it. However, this is a black console, and the faceplate, even though it's a unique one, is still kind of black, so this one kind of looks better altogether than those other two. Then we've got the Tales of Symphonia console. I would put this a lot higher because it's a actually unique and good looking color that I'm pretty sure no other GameCube is, and that's this cool like blue color. However, it has another weird faceplate that I'm not really a fan of that kind of throws the design off. It would be better if it was just a regular one, if you ask me, that is. At 16, we've got another MTV console. I don't know why they made so many of these. This one is the Tom Ford console. This is another actually unique color. It's this nice satin maroon color, but just the MTV logo being there is just weird and out of place, honestly. Aside from that, it's a decent console. And then we've got the final MTV console, because there's another one of those. And actually, I'm just now realizing I missed one. There is not another, there's 2 others. The one I had in this ranking originally was the Maple console, which looks like it's made of wood, which is just a pretty cool design, pretty cool concept. And instead of the MTV logo on the other ones just being like the regular logo, this one kind of looks like it's like spray painted on, because it's like the wood. But I'm actually just going to put this one tied with the one I forgot about, which is the white console, just because it's pretty basic and definitely looks better than the other ones before it. At 14 and 13, we have the 2 Heineken consoles. Now, I'm having a hard time believing this, but apparently Heineken gave these away when people purchased 10,000 bottles. So I don't know who was doing that, but this is definitely rare now. These are just regular GameCubes though, with the Heineken logo instead of the GameCube logo for whatever reason. At 12, we have the regular orange. 11, we have the classic standard color, which is the indigo. 10, we have the black. At 9, we have the IBM console, which is literally just the black, but it also has the IBM logo on the front, so I guess that adds to it a little bit. At number 7, we have the Resident Evil 4 bundle. This one has a unique faceplate as well, but unlike the ones where it's like a graphic design, this one's just like the logo of the game, so I think that looks a lot better. Then at 6 and 7, we have two that I think are just the same thing. The one is just the regular white console, but then the other one is another bundle console, which is the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles GameCube. But looking at it, as far as I can see, it just looks like a white GameCube, so I don't see what the difference is. Although I think the Crystal Chronicles one is actually glossy, and if that's the case, then that makes it a lot better. Then at number 5, we have the Metal Gear Solid bundle, which puts this cool logo onto a Platinum GameCube. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, if that Crystal Chronicles one is glossy white, that really does give it a big boost, so I might even put it, like, in the top 3, but that doesn't really matter, this is just opinion. At number 4, we have the traditional Platinum one, which is probably the best of the standard colors, if you ask me. It's also the one I have, that might be biased, I don't know. At number 3, we have the Gundam Char bundle. Not sure what that is, but it's this unique red color, and unlike pretty much every other GameCube console that has like a gray controller port area, it's black, which looks pretty cool, and it has this cool like golden insignia on the faceplate. Then at number 2, we have the only GameCube console that isn't shaped like a GameCube, and it's the Panasonic Q. This is a Japanese exclusive version of the GameCube, essentially an improved variant of it that can also play DVDs, which is kind of weird, and it looks more like a record player, or not a record player, but some kind of music device more so than a game console, but yeah, it looks really cool, and it looks really high-tech, too. And then lastly, at number 1, we've got the same exact thing as the last video, where the number 1 in that video was the Golden N64. This is the Starlight Gold GameCube. You really can't beat golden things, or versions of things, if you ask me. Unfortunately, this one was only released in Japan. The Golden N64 was released, I believe, worldwide, but like the Golden N64, this was only released in Toys R Us. But for this, it was Toys R Us only in Japan. Either way, it looked really cool because gold is epic and it fits the GameCube well. And yeah, that is every variation, or at least what I think is every variation of the GameCube ranked. In the next few weeks, I'm also planning to do the Wii, the Game Boy Advance, and the Switch, and maybe some others. But for now, this was the GameCube. Hopefully you watched and enjoyed. If you did, consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And thanks for watching.